Hey, everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll talk to you again at halftime, but for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Calling the shots in the huddle will be the 8th-year man from TCU. His first season in his 30s. The quarterback is Andy Dalton.
2 straight subpar years for the Bengals, 6-9-1 in 2016, followed by a 7-9 in 2017. Many are starting to wonder whether Andy Dalton's actually on the hot seat this year. It's unfortunate. It comes with the territory when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, even if it's not always fair.
From Giovanni Bernard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Oh, look at that. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by a man who hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, played his college ball at Mississippi State, the quarterback Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But were they really, truly sustainable? Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They ended up going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same. But I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Kill. There we go. 26.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
A first down carry by Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain.
The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
And when you build a defense, start from the inside out. Geno Atkins is your anchor at defensive tackle. Now he's got a great running mate in Chris Baker, who's had nice years in Washington and Tampa Bay. It'll be tough to move the ball against the Bengals defensive front.
Here we go. Boy, it's coming now. Here we go, 46. Gun. Here we go, 47, 26.
On third down, Elliott. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. They'll start the goal here with Bernard. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the backfield out of the starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Good.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
The anchor of this Cowboys defense is linebacker Sean Lee. Finished with 118 tackles despite missing 4 full games and the majority of another one in 2017. And you can absolutely see it's a different defense when he's on the field as opposed to when he's off of it. Agile, diagnoses plays well, and a fierce, fierce tackler.
Here's Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Dalton gives to Bernard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Dalton here from the gun. And that is incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
There we go, count. There we go, 26.
They start on the ground with Elliott, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Get out. Here you go. Here we go. Go to 54. Lying. Here we go. 46. Here we go. 46. Here we go. 46. Gun.
To throw is Prescott. Going left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's finish now. Here we go. 47. Hey, kill. 27. 26.
They'll give to Elliott. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these, I can just tell you,
Go to 54, go to 54, wide 8. Here we go, wide 8. Hey, kill.
Again, it's Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Andy Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And that'll get him to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Dalton. Over the middle, complete. It's Ross. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Second down, Dalton looking middle, and it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
46. Gun. Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 47. 26.
Second down, Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now Prescott. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go, 47. Here we go, 46. Switch. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 26.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Let's go, let's finish now. Here we go, 48.
10th carry now for Elliott. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
4 down, check. Here we go, 46. Switch, and hey. Here we go, 46. Done. 26.
Prescott now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Good. Here we go, 46. Switch. Here we go, 46. 26.
A first down throw for Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. They'll run it here with Brown. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started, as we normally do, on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, well, no touchdowns in that first half, but that just gives us something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
right, here we go.
On second down, here's Smith. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down carry for Smith. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. White on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
White looks to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game of baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And got his man complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Second down, here's Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no game.
Here's Barkley. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Kevin Huber now. as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We take a look at Mike White as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. And we'll see if he opts for a heavier dose of running plays, because running is where they've had more success than in the passing game.
And the way they've spread it around to different people running it as well. It's not just been one principal guy who's carried the thing and moved the game forward for them. Whoever has touched it has given them good yardage. I think he's going to stay with that game plan. It takes the pressure off of him as a thrower.
A team effort, and they're winning on the scoreboard. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Here we go now.
Again, it's Smith. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Vincent Ray, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Detroit!
Here's White to throw on 3rd down. He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit, Detroit.
On 1st down, it's White. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Smith. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. White now, throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field. Not really. It's coming, and down he goes. Jihad Ward in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Set! Green, 39! Green, 39!
Now Barkley dumps it off to Mixon. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here come the Cowboys. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. A handoff to Smith. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Lucky 56. Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
White throwing on 4th down. He finds his man. It's Austin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down.
I'll take your role, partner. But up in the fourth quarter and going for it on 4th down, and picking it up. How about that?
A big chance. That's why football is not for the faint of heart. They'll run it here with Smith. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Detroit!
To throw on second down, here's White. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Smith on a run for it. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead grows to 10-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Shreds the tackle. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Malone. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
On the ground, this is Smith. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, Smith. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now a desperation throw deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Cody Core, 69 yards. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Leopard! 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 Now let's go! Green, 39!
They'll run it again with Smith. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Cowboys on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
Now it's Smith. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So another big shot dodge there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 No. Jack Patriot! Patriot!
They'll run with Smith. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and we have done in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.